This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Eduardo, hey Jesse, what do you think about liberals who get older and frustrated with the political process and become more conservative or libertarian? Some people like Bill Maher and Andrew Yang. I don't believe Bill Maher was ever like a real true North Star of a liberal ideology. Bill Maher has always been a little bit of a bigot, more so now. He's always been anti-vaccine, anti-science, skeptical of science. So I wouldn't put him in that category. Andrew Yang, I don't know. I think Andrew Yang is just a grifter. I think Andrew Yang knows that there's an opportunity here to sell some books. The name of which just happens to be the name of his book is the name of his political party that he just started. He's made comments about everybody's welcome into the Forward Party, even white supremacists. We need a dialogue about these different ideas. No, we don't, Andrew Yang. No, we don't, Bill Maher. So I don't know that it's that they get older and frustrated with the political process. It might be that. It might be the get off my lawn, back in my day, blah. It could be one of those deals. But I think there is something to be said for witnessing the Jimmy Dores of the world and the Dave Rubins of the world and these other types. What's that girl who Brianna Gray? I think that's her name. She worked for Bernie Sanders and now she's like a Putin apologist. Glenn Greenwald, all of these people, there's money in the grift when you move from the left to the right because the right doesn't care who you are. They will embrace you as long as you're towing the line, as long as you become a cult member of Donald Trump, singing the praises of the fascist enablers. So I think people like Bill Maher, people like Andrew Yang, they see the writing on the wall. And they want to become more like the Tulsi Gabbards of the world rather than true ideological correct in the way that they think. So I think very little of them, and I try to think little about them. It's a great question. Thank you, Eduardo. And also, another one, and also, what's wrong with Arizona Senator Kirsten Sinema? How is she still caucusing with Democrats? Why are they still caucusing with her? Judge confirmation vote, she spoke at Moscow, Mitch's, blah, blah, blah. I think that's what you're going to say there. So here's the deal with we are in a razor's edge with the Senate majority. And if she doesn't caucus with Democrats, she's going to caucus with Republicans, which would mean that the Republicans have the majority in the Senate. They have control of the United States Senate. The same goes for Joe Manchin. If he was to switch sides, we don't have the majority anymore, which means we don't control the agenda of the Senate. We don't control judicial nominees. We don't control any of this. So for now, they are useful. And we have to maintain some relationship with them. Is she dangerous? Is she damaging? Is Joe Manchin dangerous and damaging? Yes, they are obstructionists by definition. Standing for these arcane rules of the Senate while cracking your little jokes at Mitch McConnell's reception, aligning yourself with Mitch McConnell and talking about the filibuster being something that needs to be upheld is repugnant because this is but a Senate rule that, listen, there's many ways to implement the filibuster that are different than what we do now and still keep it. Go back to the talking filibuster. Go back to the Mr. Smith Goes to Washington days where you got to get up and you got to get on your feet and run your mouth on the Senate chamber, on the floor, for the world to see you obstructing the business of the country. That's, if we're going to keep this filibuster, that's the way to do it. So everyone can identify that Ted Cruz is an asshole, and not just because of his face, because they'll witness him and know that he's obstructing. That's the way to do it. Deion Jones, do you think Democrats will lose the House and or the Senate in the upcoming midterms? I don't like making predictions because I don't like being wrong, Deion, but you're forcing me here. Here, do I have drum roll? Terrible drum roll. Yeah, I believe they're going to maintain the House and the Senate. I think it'll be close. So close that I could be wrong. I don't believe we'll lose both, but I think we'll win both. But it's possible that we'll lose one. It comes down to how stupid are the people of Georgia. I mean, who in their right minds, with agency and decency of thought and conviction, who would vote for Herschel Walker over Raphael Warnock? There is just oceans of space between those two candidates. And I'm very interested in that race. Great question. What do you think? Everybody should chat in the chat. Ove Thompson, $19 super, $19.99, $20 super chat. Thank you very much, Ove. Will the Dems ratchet up the negative ads? I think a prove it campaign against the fascists would be beneficial. I really hope. We have been witness this last couple weeks to Joe Biden kind of taking off the gloves. Some Democrats being more aggressive and on the offensive where it relates to Republicans. That's what we need. Look, I don't want to toot my own horn, but we need more people who are willing to call it like it is and not speak in this namby-pamby politically, my good friend across the aisle, we have to be respectful. No, we don't. They're trying to destroy the country. They are planning and orchestrating coups against the government. And we have to, oh yes, we're going to be all nice and polite. No, we're not. I'm done. And you should be done too. It's not a call to violence. It's not a call to any of that. It's getting aggressive and committed to the prospect of protecting democracy in this country. I hope you agree.